All right, let's talk about case studies, specifically how to get those powerful sales-driving stories done fast. We're going to break down a method that gets rid of all the usual headaches and delays that seem to kill these projects before they even get started.
Does this sound familiar? You know you need good customer stories. You've got happy customers for sure, but the project just drags on and on. It's a massive frustration, right? For marketing, for sales. Well, today we're going to talk about the solution.
So what is the fix for that endless cycle of delays? It's actually a number. 5. 5 days. That's the promise we're digging into here. A completely finished, professional case study ready to go in less than a single work week. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Fast probably means low quality, right? But check this out. The whole point here is speed plus substance. We're talking about stories built on real hard numbers, quantitative metrics, not just some fluffy, vague praise. This has real weight.
So, before we get to the solution, let's really diagnose the problem. Why do these super important projects get stuck in limbo all the time?
Okay, symptom number 1. The case study is always getting postponed. It just kind of lurks, doesn't it? It's always sitting there, halfway down the marketing to-do list, never quite urgent enough to make it to the top. It feels like a ton of work, so other fires always jump the queue.
Symptom 2, even when you get one done, the proof can be, well, pretty weak and dull. The traditional formats are so rigid. They end up being all about your product's features instead of what the customer actually experienced. And the result is this boring, inflexible story that just doesn't connect with anyone.
And here's the big one. Symptom number 3, the customer bottleneck. This is the project killer. Everything depends on scheduling that interview, getting the approvals, doing the transcriptions. And when that process stalls, and you know it almost always does, the whole thing just grinds to a halt. You end up having to fall back on just getting a logo or a quick one-line quote, which is really just a shadow of what you wanted. Okay, so we've all felt that pain. But what if the whole approach is just wrong? Let's talk about a radically new way to think about this. It's all about using the proof you already have. This is the big aha moment. It's a total shift in perspective. You need to stop thinking that you have to create the proof from scratch. The reality is, the proof you need, it probably already exists, right now, inside your own company. So what are we talking about here? What does this hidden material actually look like? Well, think about it. It could be a Slack thread where your team was celebrating a huge result for a client, or a social media post where the client themselves gave you a shout out. Maybe it's just an internal project recap that's packed with KPIs and data. The gold is already there. You just have to know where to look. And this really proves the point. You don't need to hand over something perfectly polished. You can literally give someone a jumbled load of data, and the right process can spin that into a story that actually makes sense and connects with people. Okay, this sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work? Let's walk through the 3 simple steps that take you from a bunch of scattered data to a finished story. Honestly, it's super straightforward. Step 1, you just gather up all that material we were just talking about, the Slack threads, the reports, whatever you've got. Step 2, you fill out a simple questionnaire to give it all some context. And step 3, you just wait. In 5 days, a powerful case study lands in your inbox. That's it. Simple. And why go through all this trouble? Well, look at this number, 70%. A really good case study can boost your conversion rates by up to 70%. This isn't just a piece of marketing content. We're talking about a serious tool for closing more deals. All right, so now that we know about this new approach, let's put it in context. How does it really stack up against all the other options you have for getting a case study made?
Let's just break this down. You could try to do it yourself or use an AI tool, right? Sure, it's cheap, but you're not going to get a story you're proud of, and it's still going to eat up your team's time. Okay, what about a big agency? Yep, you'll get quality, but it'll take forever and cost a fortune. The goal is to find that sweet spot in the middle, the only option that ticks all the boxes. Fast, high quality, doesn't drain your team's resources, and the cost is justifiable. It's a pretty clear choice when you see it laid out like this.
And look, this backs it up perfectly. This isn't just a claim on a chart. Here's someone saying they got a professionally written and well-researched story delivered in less than 5 days as promised. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Okay, so let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here? It's really about a fundamental shift in how you think about this. It's about finally getting your best customer stories unstuck and putting them to work for you. So really, it comes down to this choice.
The old way? You're looking at interview delays, frustration for both you and your client, and projects that just stall out for months. The new way? You get the ball rolling right now. You use the data you already have, and you get a solid case study in your hands this week. The difference is just night and day.
And this quote from a CEO just nails it. This is such a classic problem in so many companies, right? The sales team is saying, we need more case studies. And the marketing team is saying, we just don't have the time. This approach solves that problem. It's the bridge between those two departments. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. That one story, the one that could help you close your next huge deal, is it really buried on some to-do list? Or is it hiding in plain sight right now in one of your Slack threads? Chances are it's right there waiting for you.